I think live. Hello everyone and welcome to Rich's Rides and Restorations, the inaugural episode of Workshop Wednesday. So the purpose of this live stream is get to hang out with you guys more often and bring you up to date with what's happening in the workshop, talk about all things bike restoration related, and let you know what's coming up on the channel. So I want to do one of these each month on the the second Wednesday of each month, and hopefully we'll go through a whole year and we'll see how we do and see how you like it. So I'm just checking that the audio works. I've got a little lapel mic. Just check the focus. I'll just check the sounds coming through on my other device. So I'm just checking that the audio works. I've got a little lapel mic. Yep, that's coming through. So hopefully the echo wasn't too bad just while I check that. So I've got a different device up so I can keep an eye on the chat. So if you have any questions at any point about myself, the bikes, what I'm doing, feel free to stick them in the chat, and yeah, I'll try to answer as we go along. So I've also got a couple of Christmas prezzies to show off. This is a Christmas prezzie, but it's a jacket and it's freezing cold in in the workshop, so not really bike related, but yeah, I've got a couple of nice Christmas prezzies to show you. It might be inspire you for next year for any loved ones or even just yourself. And I see there's quite a big glare. There we go. That's better. Can't really avoid it because, right. So I was actually a bit organised today, and I made a little list of things to talk about. So, what's coming up on the channel? So we've got next week a video about my Bickerton Portable Mark III. Now, if you cast your minds back, if you've been keeping an eye on the community tab on the channel, I posted a picture, a couple of pictures of this Bickerton portable folding bike that I rescued from a skip. I was just out walking one day, and in the distance I saw some, an odd shape that vaguely bike-like, and as I got closer, I thought, "It's not, is it?" And it was like, "Oh, it is." I was like, "Oh my goodness! Well, I better rescue that before it ends up, getting crushed and melted down and all that." So I picked it up, checked it out. It didn't look very. It didn't look like it'd just been stolen and dumped. Don't worry. Obviously, it'd been laid up for some time, and yeah, tires are all flat and what have you. So I managed to kind of assemble it and wheeled it home, and yeah, well, we got a video kind of all about that to coming up hopefully next week. I'm going to see if I can continue making videos more regularly. So last year we actually put out I managed to put out 15 videos, which is more than I thought. But I went through and I counted up, so I had 15 videos and then 5 shorts, but only 1 live stream for the whole year. So this year I've set kind of a modest goal of 12 of each. I think that'd be quite achievable. So a monthly kind of more long form video, and then monthly live stream like this, and a short video as well. And then I think that will give kind of a bit of an easier balance, because the main issue for me is not so much the filming time, it's the editing, and editing takes a long time for me when I have a full-time job like a lot of people, and you have to prioritize the skills that pay the bills rather than hobbies. But so that's what I'm trying to do over the coming year. So I've got a list of videos and topics that I'll be trying to do over the coming year, including doing more ride along with Rich videos. My kind of POV cycling videos were usually out on one of these mass cycle rides that happen regularly in Sheffield, or out in the countryside, and it's just kind of a nice relaxing ride for anyone to watch along with. Maybe while you're on your stationary bike, or just chilling out in front of the TV, just something to enjoy, hopefully. And I'll have videos about doing up some 3-speed hubs. I've got 3 Sturmey Archer 3-speed hubs. No, sorry, 1 3-speed hub and 2 4-speed hubs, which I am going to be working on. Maybe I'll do them on a live stream. So I've got a 3-speed hub where the sprocket isn't engaging. It just turns anti-clockwise, clockwise, in both directions. So I'll be trying to debug that, as they say, try and fix that. I don't know whether it'll work. I've never taken it apart. I don't know whether it's something's broken inside and I'll have the right parts for it. But that might be kind of an interesting thing to do live and see what happens. Live reactions as we go, rather than having things staged. And then I've got 2 4-speed dyno hubs, and someone, I can't remember the name, I do apologize, someone's been asking me for ages to see if I can do a kind of a maintenance tutorial on the 4-speed hubs. So I am, fingers crossed, I'll be able to do one of those in the next couple of months. And see if I can take him apart, find what's wrong with it, and get it running again. So hopefully that will be helpful to someone else out there. Before, on that subject, and before I forget, I want to put a huge thank you out to Rowan at Velocipedium. In one of his recent videos, he recommended one of my previous videos from a couple of years ago, where I basically restored a 3-speed dyno hub which was completely seized. It was a 1956 AG hub, Sturmey Archer. It was completely seized. It was full of rust. I ran a load of WD-40 through it, and it was like dark coffee, the liquid that came out. It was just so full of rust. And I took that apart, and it was apparently it's one of the most popular videos on the channel, and Rowan is very kind in saying that it's kind of the video for anyone taking apart that hub. So huge thank you to Rowan and at Velocipedium. Please go check out his channel. His channel was kind of what inspired me to get involved with 3-speed bikes in particular, and yeah, now I've got 12. So yeah, not as many as what he's got. So yeah, so thank you again for that. If you've just joined the live stream, thank you for joining us, and please feel free to put any questions in the chat about what's happening on the channel and what's coming up, or anything about myself or the bikes. I've got a couple of them in here with me, and I've got a load out more outside. Yeah. So as promised, I think I'll go and show off a couple of these Christmas prezzies, including this one. Yeah, it's very cold out here, hence the tea. So yeah, this was a nice present from a relation of mine. It's just got like all different bikes, kind of a history of bikes on the outside. It's like a tall bike and a Lauf machine, I think that's called, penny farthing, and so forth. There's another penny farthing on the bottom, but if I showed you that, then the T would fall out, and that'd be a crime. Anyway, so yeah, so that was nice. I don't know where it's from. Well, actually, it says Gift Republic on the bottom, so I guess that's where it's from. So I'll put that down, and then the other gift I got, which was not a re-gift really, but a relation of mine gave me this, the Raleigh Book of Cycling by Reginald C. Shaw. It's quite a sturdy book, from 1975. I don't know how many reprints or whatever there were. This is the first edition because there's only one date inside. And yeah, it's really quite a good book. How about I move the camera and I'll take you through, see if you can enjoy it. Come on. And flip. There we go. The wonders of technology. I'll just move that there. So I've just got this old envelope here just to kind of protect it because I don't want to get oily stuff over it. This was another recent acquisition. This workbench mat. It'd been on my wish list for a while, and it's quite good. It does. It's a piece of rubber. It does the trick of not moving. So yeah, so Raleigh Book of Cycling. So this is part history of bikes, part sales manual, not sales manual. It tells you how to buy a bike and which ones to buy, and of course it should be a Raleigh. I mean, it's got like part service manual as well, and it's got like background about all different subjects related to cycling. So, and it was grand old price, £3.90 back in 1975. So I don't know, it sounds a lot. I mean, something like this would probably be 20 odd pounds these days. So yes, Raleigh Book of Cycling. Oh yeah, so my my relation apparently it had this in the loft for many years, and he just came across it one day and thought of me, which was very nice of them. So yeah, so it's very good condition and includes this little bit of errata. So first published 1975. It's there. So yeah, so you don't really see that in books these days. Piece of paper stuck in with corrections. So yeah, so what have we got? So yeah, it's got introduction, buying a bike and riding it, non-conventional bicycles, cycling for health and fitness, laws and regulations. So I had a quick preview, and yes, it does. It does mention lights and various other things. Not riding on pavements and all the usual stuff. Cycling proficiency. It's even got an excerpt of the cycling proficiency test as it was back in 1975. The cycle gears and gearing section is really good. It includes some like gear ratio calculators and things like that. And then later on, it's basically all about different aspects of cycling as a sport and things. And one thing I'm really looking forward to getting through to reading is cycling in the future and seeing how much of it came to pass. So yeah, so just have a flick through. Yes, buying a bike, riding it. The section's all about seat tube angles, construction of bicycle frames, and so forth. Different kinds of saddles. The pictures in this book are very well produced, and of course this this book has spent most of its time in storage. So overall condition of all the pages is really good. Different types of handlebars, rod brakes, pedals, and so forth. So yes, modern non-conventional bicycles. And of course, what could be more non-conventional than a rally shopper? See the fashions and kind of social attitudes at the time is ideal for the housewife, for the then modern housewife. The rally chopper on here. So what we got? So we've got a rally chopper at the front. I'm probably going to get this wrong. It's a small, and a pair of RSWs, I think. So that might be an RSW Mark 1 and RSW Mark 2. I'm sure someone will correct me in the chat. I'm basically just going off the style of the handlebars here. You see, it's got kind of the swan neck handlebars. Cycling for health and fitness. I've not read some of this, so if there's something a bit, dated or non-PC, as they say in some of this text, I don't know yet. Cycling laws and regulations about highway code, cycling under the influence, motor insurance. There we go. That's a nice looking bag. Raleigh Carlton. What else have we got? There is a lot of pictures and things in here. So there's pictures about. Here we go. Cycling proficiency test. Now I'll hold this up to the screen for a few minutes. See if you can make that out. Yeah, all about stopping and turning. It's reasonably similar to what I had to go through in the mid-90s when I took my cycling proficiency at primary school. The idea is you get points for each thing, and if you get a minimum pass number of points, then you pass your cycling proficiency. Not that you need to in order to, ride on the road in the UK. You don't need a license or pass or what have you. Um, but yeah, it might keep you a bit alive a bit longer. So yeah, so this is a good one. Cycle gears and gearing, where it explains the principles of gears and gear inches and so forth. And here we go. Look, gear ratios chart. I mean, look at that. This is all based around 3-speed hubs. So you got your front chain wheel size, and then how many teeth on the sprocket, and then different size wheels. So for most like rally roadsters, we'll be going for like 26-inch wheel, and gives you a corresponding number of gear inches. Lower number for easier gears, higher number for harder gears, or faster gears. So that's that bears more study. Only goes up to 22 inches. 22 teeth on the on the rear sprocket. So so if I ever fitted a 24 or something on one of my bikes, I might have to pencil it in. Well, I'd make a copy. Obviously, I don't want to damage this. It's a very nice book, and it covers topics such as adjusting the gears, disassembly, exploded diagrams. Sadly it only covers the AW hub. This book, but many of the principles of disassembly apply to other things. Yeah, look at these diagrams; they're really nice. Yeah, correct orientation of the of the springs. How to fit the trigger shifter wires and so forth. Twist grips, Stemiarch twist grips. I've never used either a bike or maintained a twist grip Sturmey Archer. So one day I might see that and give it a go. Sport shift gear control. That would be from the when you put it on the top tube, like with the rally the chopper and so forth. Yeah, so it's a very nice book. Yes, adjustment of gear cables. So yeah, as I say, it's kind of part sales manual, part history. These like really nice pictures. Riding through York. There's lots of people all suitably dressed for the weather. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if York was flooding at the time, as it often does. Cycle sports, cycling on the road. Oh. Some old pictures. So yeah. Oh, this is a nice one. Old kind of tricycle. And the Rover Safety Bicycle, 1885. Made in Coventry, if I believe correctly. So yeah. And on the back, you might like this. It's got the emblems of all the kind of constituent companies that were a part of Raleigh. So if I focus this a bit better. So we've got BSA, Phillips, Carlton, Robin Hood, Hercules, Norman, Humber, Rudge, of course, Raleigh in the middle. So yeah, so I mean the only ones I've had the pleasure of working on so far are Hercules and Rallies, but you know, maybe if I had one of each in the collection, that'd be a nice thing to aspire to, assuming I have the room and so forth. So yeah, so hope that was interesting. I don't know how widely available it is, kind of secondhand, or you know, if there's PDFs of it available. But yeah, I was a very thoughtful gift, so I'm looking forward to kind of reading my way through that more fully. So, cheers. So, all right, one sec. Right, yeah, please pay no heed to the state of the workshop. I'm actually hoping to the magic of television, isn't it? There we go. Shoestring budget. I haven't even got the shoe for it. Right. Well, right. So, yeah. So one of the things I'm hoping to do this year is basically smarten up the workshop. So I've bought some masonry, masonry paint. Because one of the issues I've found is the yellow brick kind of makes whatever I'm filming, or myself, look yellow, and color correction is a bit of a pain to do. And I've only been working on a fluorescent light and 2 additional spotlights there, so hopefully I can improve the lighting. Hello, Hermes. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, so if you've just joined the channel, well, thank you. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Germany. Actually, I do have. Well, it's not German bike. I have a bike that was owned by a German lady who moved to Sheffield. That's in the queue to do up. The story of that bike was that she'd met a British serviceman, came over, and he built up this kind of a Bitzer bike and fitted it with like things like coaster brakes and stuff, components that you kind of more associate with you know cycling on on mainland Europe. You don't really have like coaster brakes and stuff in the UK. So that's still in the queue to kind of do up. So hopefully that might be of interest. Um, so yes. So what was I doing? I so yeah. So as I said at the beginning of the stream, the point of this stream is to I'm going to do these each month on the second Wednesday, and basically just give everyone an update about what's coming up on the channel, answer any questions about myself, bikes, projects, technical questions. If you leave comments on questions on any of the windows, any of the videos, over the preceding month, I'll try to do a kind of a roll up of questions and do a bit of a Q&A. And yeah, just try to kind of be helpful and kind of hang out, and talk all things cycling or cycling restoration related, and so if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer. Coming up on the channel this year, got quite a few kind of videos kind of lined up. I've got a list here. I was organized. So I've got a video about my Bickerton portable bike, which I rescued from a skip. I gave a bit of story about that at the beginning of the stream, and a test ride of that. I'm going to be doing some kind of strip downs and restorations of some 3-speed hub gears, such as Sturmey Archer AW hub, a Sturmey Archer FG 4-speed dyno hub. I've got a pair of those from 1950 to renovate, and hopefully, well, I might fit them to one of the bikes and give them a test out. I've got a yes, Hermes, what are the next projects for restoration? Yes, so I've still got to do a test, really a test ride of the Hercules folder bike that I restored last year. Due to the weather and illness over Christmas, I didn't get really out cycling as much as I wanted. So I've still got a test ride of that to do. So I'll be doing that. I've got the Bickerton portable, as mentioned. I've got the 1950 single speed bike with the coaster brake, which I touched upon earlier. And in terms of bikes for restoration, that's about it so far. I have several bikes that I've done kind of so like the 1940 Raleigh Ideal Safety bike, which I basically did a will it ride kind of video on it. So I fixed it up enough for it to be rideable and took it out. That hasn't had a kind of full restoration or strip down or service, so maybe I'll fit that in during the year. I've got what else? I've also got a front speed dyno hub. Sorry, a front wheel dyno hub to service and restore. So I'll be doing a kind of a tutorial on that. And I'll also be carrying on with my series of ride along with Rich videos, where I do the POV shots of me riding either solo, around in the countryside, or in the local area, and or where I'm joining others on the kind of the mass cycle rides that we have each month in Sheffield, where we ride. We start off in the city centre and we go on something like a 10-15 kilometre ride, basically around the city, and we eventually, after a couple of hours, arrive at one of the many parks here in Sheffield. It's a different park each month, and there's regularly 20 to 200 people on these rides. And I have a ride from last June or July, which I haven't published yet. It's not much of a ride. Basically, it was really, really hot, and the battery in my GoPro basically died from like overheating. So it didn't have very much footage, but hopefully I can piece together clips from that, and yeah, put something out. They don't really get that many views, But I have been told by people that they do enjoy watching them. So yes, there's a kind of a loyal hardcore who like to watch the rider videos, and I enjoy doing them because I enjoy cycling, and yeah, I like to film what I enjoy doing. So what's in the chat? As like the folding bike, I also own two of a German brand, also with 2 speeds, which shifts. Oh yes, the Duomatic shifter. Yes. So the Bickerton bike I've got, it's a 3-speed. It's a Sachs Torpedo 3-speed hub. Now, when I try to find information about how to service them, or how to even just find the date stamp on them, yeah, all the information I can find about it is like the Duomatic version, one with a brake in it, and it's yeah. So with the Bickerton, the model it's got doesn't actually have a date stamp on the hub, which is really frustrating. It's very it's very different to the Sturmey Archer, where all the hubs have like the month and year, and apparently on the Sachs Torpedo, for like some models on the brake reaction arm, it had like 2 letters that said what year and month it has. This doesn't have a brake reaction arm because it hasn't got a brake, and they moved the beginning of the 80s. They apparently moved the date stamp from the shell to the brake handles, but this doesn't have the corresponding brake handles. uh, so yeah. So the only way I can actually figure out the year of the Bickerton is based on the labels on the bike, like the brand labels. So which narrowed it down from to somewhere between 1983 and 1988. There's a serial number, but no one knows what the serial numbers are. I went on the Bickerton folding bike Facebook group and said, "Yeah, here's a picture. This is a serial number. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me how to find out the date of it?" And someone, to my surprise, says, "Oh, I actually worked in the Bickerton factory in the 80s for a couple of years. People used to like write their signatures underneath the frame in permanent marker, and we used to apply the labels with the serial numbers to the underside of the frame, but they had no idea what serial numbers meant. The serial number on mine, it looks like S225, and I know from looking online there are some bikes serial numbers that begin with an A something something, and they were produced over 19 years. So A for year 1, B for year 2. I don't know how that works. Uh, so it, it's probably a very mid to late 80s example of a Bickerton in very good condition. I should add, it's only missing the reflector from the front wheel. It's still got the front and rear reflector. Yeah. All right. Is there any good website where I can find the numbers of bikes? So right. So there isn't a single website, but if you're on Facebook, there's the Raleigh Roadster and Raleigh Superb Owners Club Facebook group, and there's members in there who basically have lists and lists of serial numbers and like corresponding dates, and that's kind of how I found out like how old the frames are on my bike. So there's usually like a letter and then a 5-digit number. So I think on mine was like P for something on one of my rally bikes, and that put it at kind of October 1950. So if you're on Facebook, that's a very good group to join. It's like really very helpful. Um, and there might be I have seen some pictures like kind of floating around that's got a little chart, but it's a bit incomplete for like it doesn't have like all the serial number ranges on there. But hopefully that's helpful to you. So yeah, I might see if I can dig out some of the screenshots I've got of like serial numbers and post them on the community tab. Hopefully that won't get me in trouble with the copyright people if I do that, but hopefully it'll be useful to people. Yeah. And speaking of Facebook, I do have a Facebook page for this channel. If you've not checked it out, where I do post the occasional update, additional videos um, and photos, and that's of course facebook.com/Rich's Rides and Restorations, and there's probably a link in the description to that or on the channel. So if you haven't already been over there, please go check it out. Right, so coming up to 8 o'clock UK time, and I did promise my wife this wouldn't go on too long. Do you plan to build up an old mountain bike? I did. So was it last year? Not last year, the year before. I acquired a Topeka Concept. Was it Concept Topeka? Yeah, it was Concept Cycles Topeka mountain bike, front suspension mountain bike, which I took apart and serviced and gave it a good polish and stuff. That was from 1999. Yeah, I put it together, and yeah, it's nice. The problem is, I haven't. I've not had time to ride it. So I currently have 11 bikes and like in various states of repair. And this is one which is sadly it's just spent the whole of the past year being unused. So I am sadly looking to downsize, and most of my bikes when I when it's time to say goodbye, I actually donate to local charity. So there's a charity not far away from me called Comac, and they provide bikes to like refugees or asylum seekers or people who unemployed and seeking work and so forth, to help them get about in Sheffield, with cheap, easy, reliable transport. And yeah, so that's usually where they go. Yes, yes, it's always, always probably too many bikes. Yeah, the thing is, I like getting bikes and like fixing the issues and stuff. And I've tried selling bikes, but it's the market at the moment is it's collapsed. So a couple of years ago, bikes that were selling for £200 or whatever on eBay or Facebook Marketplace are now going for, if they're going at all, for like more like £20. So wherever that is in euros, um, similar amount. So it's crazy because of the C word in and lockdown and everything, the people went crazy. Bikes were in such high demand. Shimano, apparently one of their factories had um, one of their factories caught fire, and there was not enough components, so prices just went through the roof. And after you know when people went back to work, they stopped riding bikes so often, or all the bikes they bought just got put away or decided to kind of sell on, and so the market's just completely bloated. And there's lots of retail chains that are going out of business, or have gone out of business, or have been bought out. Yeah, it's a really tough time for people working in the industry, and people wanting to sell you know sell on their bikes. But as I say, I'm not in it to make money. And I don't, as you can probably tell, I don't spend a huge amount of money on them either, because I don't really have that much more money to yeah um, to spend. So yeah, so rather than just letting things rust in a shed or whatever, I think donating them to people who genuine need is the is the way to go. Yeah, don't bikes are great. I mean, I do have one that's I've had for many years. It's my Trax TR1 hybrid bike that I used to commute to work on. Um, and yeah, it's really past its best, and maybe it's not really good enough to pass on. So I might have to dismantle it, take the good stuff off it, and you know you can't really put bikes in the recycling bin where I am. But yeah, yeah, maybe it's time to say goodbye to that one. Um, we'll see. So, yeah, I like bikes. Well, of all kinds, as you can tell. So, yeah, push bikes, motorbikes, and so forth. Although I don't have that many motorbikes. Um, well, I have one. For going to work on occasionally. But yeah, that's about it. Um, so yeah, so I think that's covered everything really so far. Any other questions in the chat? So if we can wrap this up soon. I'll say I'll be doing another one of these this time next month. Um, and so if you have any further questions or comments, please do put them in the chat. Please do let me know what kind of videos you enjoy. I mean, I get lots of um, uh, whether you like the riding videos, or you like the kind of the tutorial videos, or the just me nattering on. Um, last time I did, well, a couple of years ago, I did a couple of live streams of me building a wheel, like live. I thought it would only take an hour or so, but 4 hours later, I managed to build 4 wheels up. And I really enjoyed, I enjoyed doing that. And it was very kind of, therapeutic and relaxing. Just building wheels and getting them all trued up and everything. And hopefully they were informative and useful to anyone else. So if you like that kind of format, do let me know, and I'll try to do more of it. Well, thank you, Hermes. Yeah, so I don't know if you were on the stream when I mentioned it, but I've got some 3-speed, 4-speed hubs, um, with various problems and stuff. So maybe trying to fix those live on the stream will be interesting um, to someone, or if people just happy for me to film it, edit it, and do one of these kind of more snappy tutorial videos. Yeah, as you can probably tell, I tend to kind of think out loud and explain things as I go along. So doing videos where I'm like working on something and trying to figure out the problem and talking to you about it, it's pretty good. Oh, thank you very much for that. You mentioned tools. Actually, one of the things I was going to do was maybe do kind of my top, I don't know, top 5 tools for the past year. It's a bit niche, but really, my tool of the year has to be, well, actually, this. Oh, come on, can I get out? A grease gun. Now, other brands are available, but I had this on my wish list for ages. And the previous live stream I did for when we hit 666 subscribers, no significance with the number, I'm sure. It was a bit of an unboxing and review of this and demonstration, and this it's really useful. It's the amount of like dirty like fingers and things and mess it's saved is good. So this would cost me about £35. It was a Christmas. It was a Christmas present, I think. And yeah, it'd just been on the wish list for so long. I decided to spend some birthday money on it, treat myself, and yeah, and it's really good. It's quite sturdy. It's fallen off my work stand a couple of times, so it's got a couple of nicks in the powder coating, but it really is a sturdy little thing. I'm sure there are other brands of this available for not quite so much. You do kind of pay a premium for park tool stuff, and I suppose it's up to you kind of how often you use them, your budget, whether there are alternatives available. Yeah, so tool of the year for me. And then maybe tool for the coming year is this one, if I can find it. Oh, it's caught on the magnet. Of course it's caught on the magnet. There we go. This one. You'll never guess. So yeah, so it's a Sturmy Archer ball ring spanner, and this is to help get the inner shell out of Sturmy Archer hubs. Doesn't work with all of them, because some of them have a kind of a flat groove on the inside, and this has like a rounded one. So this will work with kind of your 1980s onwards kind of hubs. So if you've seen like previous videos I've done where I've had to basically use a a hammer and a punch or a drift or a chisel kind of like to undo the mechanism and unscrew it from the hub housing, this will hopefully come in handy. And I've not used it, still in the packet. Again, this was £35, so not cheap, but it's quite substantial. An official Sturmy Archer. So hopefully it'll come in handy over next year, but we'll see. So that's the HTR 145 Classic Ball Ring Spanner is the code for that. So I saw someone use it on another bike related channel, and yeah, I basically put off buying it for ages, and yeah, I've not used it yet, but maybe I can use it on some of these hubs that I need to do up. Park tools are not cheap, getting good quality and functionality. Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's definitely an element of you get what you pay for. Hopefully, I mean, I have bought tools, including park tools, where basically the quality wasn't that great, or the specs weren't up to like, so like so I bought a couple of like headset spanners. So yeah, Park Tool HCW 15 for headsets. I've yet to find it fit on a single headset like properly. Like, I don't know if the tolerances were out or something. But yeah, it's got 32 or 36 at each end, and yeah, not really, not had much success with it. And that was not cheap. Thankfully, that was a present from someone. But yeah, I ended up getting a Pedal Pro spanner, which is similar thickness. It's a bit, in terms of similar thickness and that, it's a bit thicker. And it's got 36 and 40 at one end, and 30 and 32 at the other. So you've got a bit more, well, you got more options with this, and this was like a third of the price of this one, and it works just as well. So yeah, I don't know if someone from Park Tool is 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 watching this at some point in the future, but yeah, I wonder what's happened with that. Yeah, I've had to use just an adjustable spanner, because it says it's the right size and it's not. So especially if you restore a rusty bike, you have to use good tools. In Germany, there's a slogan: "Someone will buy cheap buy cheap, buy twice." Yes, yeah, we have that kind of same same saying over here. Yeah, buy cheap, buy twice. But yeah, it's no good if when you spend the money that it's not up to scratch, or not what you needed after all. Yeah. Oh, I mean, so that I'm not coming across completely anti Park Tool again. These cable clip cutters, these were like the first Park Tool that I got. Brilliant. Yeah. Not had to sharpen them or anything. Yeah, great value. And again, these are like 30 odd quid, and yeah, no complaints. And I do a lot of cables. So. Not so useful when you're working on an old rod brake bike, but there you go. So we're coming up to an hour. So thank you so much for everyone who has joined us, dipped in or out. Thank you so much to people who've put things in the chat, especially Hermes. Thank you so much for joining us, all the way from Germany. And I hope you all had a very good Christmas and New Year. And yes, you could always use the those clippers to cut fingernails as well. Not thought of that before, but yeah. So with that, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the stream, and I will see you next month for the next episode of Workshop Wednesday, as I'm calling it. Nice bit of alliteration there, and yeah, stay tuned for my next video on this time next week about the Bickerton Portable. So until next time, bye for now.